What's happening, everybody? This is Mike at Mike's Total Dragon channel, and today we've just been sitting outside a little bit since the weather's so nice. I figured why not break out some comics, read a little bit, talk a little bit, and up next in the conversation is going to be Savage Dragon number 13. So the first thing you'll see here is Savage Dragon 13, that there's two of them. Now, the reason that there's two of these is this went on during a month in which Image Comics did like a promotion or, gimmick, whatever you want to call it, in which everyone swapped everyone's books. Erik Larsen, I don't remember which book he drew, but Jim Lee did Savage Dragon, Rob Liefeld did Shadow Hulk. So all the founders, they swapped out everyone's books. They called it Image X month, I think. But as you'll see, this is the Jim Lee Savage Dragon. But Erik Larsen, he had always said he wanted to do the longest unbroken run in comic book history. And so once this issue hit, I guess he kind of realized that would put him back at square one. So he came out and just did a second number 13. It sounds a lot more confusing than it is, because essentially this story right here is kind of like a one-shot Dragon issue. You'll see Jim Lee on pencils. Thumbing through it, it feels a lot more like a Wildcats issue than it would a Savage Dragon issue. Savage Dragon, it just doesn't even have the feel of Larsen's Dragon issue. So, because of that, I'm not really going to go through it, because it doesn't even touch on any of the story of anything that Larsen had been doing in the ongoing. It has more Wildcats feel, with people like Grifter being in here. I think Zealot, ever how it's pronounced, I think she's in here as well. So, the Jim Lee art's super strong. Look at this. This looks incredible. It's a great 2-page spread right here. It's classic Jim Lee 90s stuff. Stuff that you would see right out of his Wildcats. Big honking rocket launcher right there. But in any case, this is the Jim Lee Savage Dragon 13. And then on the back here, before they became known as McFarlane Toys, they were called Todd's Toys. But in any case, that's the Jim Lee issue. This is the Erik Larsen proper 13. So we'll go ahead and get into this. As you'll see, this opens up with Dragon getting bandaged up by Nurse Ann Stevens, who's also Miracle Man, or not Miracle Man, Mighty Man, I'm sorry. So he's getting bandaged up. And this guy right here, him and his buddy right here, this is, I want to say his name's Peter Clapton. No, not Peter Clapton. Yeah, Peter Clapton, that's right. Peter Clapton. He's basically a famous musician in the Image universe. And it has been rumored a little bit that he is the vigilante star. And this guy says, "Oh brother, not this again," after Peter says, "That reminds me, I think I'm supposed to be somewhere," which is the classic let me sneak off and change costumes. Now right here we go back and we meet the character supervillain that was introduced 2 issues ago, the Fiend. She is basically some sort of demonic entity that feeds off of hate, and she has presented herself to the mother of the girl who was shot dead by an intruder at Dragon's house. The young girl was staying with Dragon. There's a knock at the door. She went to open it, and there was a crazy guy there, and he shot her dead, and then ended up turning the gun on himself. And as we see right here, she's getting possessed by the Fiend. We've got the Dragon having a little bit of conversation with his fellow police officers about making sure he's strapped up. Apparently there's been some sort of incident down with some homeless superpowered people. I'm sorry. Here's Star. And once again, as we see before, Dragon's kind of disgusted anytime he has somebody show up to help him. He really considers everyone else's help kind of inferior help, especially if they don't have powers, which is what Star does not have. They fall through the floor, caught in some sort of web. They're kind of battling. Dragon runs into another member of the homeless superhero, or the homeless superpowered freak community, and that guy just tells him, "Look, just leave, man. Just get out of here. It's not for you around here." That's enough. Although we call the underground our home, we don't own it. And this guy here, Rock, he really is diffusing the situation. Doesn't want to escalate any battle between him and Dragon in case people can get hurt. And then here the Wildcats show up. Big 2-page spread of them. Grifter, Zealot, Voodoo, Warblade, Spartan, Maul. So basically they're kind of walking around in this little homeless area. Star's mad that they didn't get more action than it was. Dragon reports back to his partner. He said, "Hey, nothing was going on. It's a bunch of homeless freaks down here." Star tried to pick a fight. They got an incoming transmission on the police radio. Mighty Man's in a fight with Big Purple Guy, who would be Maul from Wildcats. So now we have Freak Force battling it out. This is a bunch of really cool action shots. Super Patriot versus Spartan here. Both of them being really mainly robots. Super Patriot is mostly a cyborg. Spartan is 100% robot, synthetic type body. Dragon gets his big honking gun. He's going to walk in there and try to break it up. Then all of a sudden, yet again, another case of mistaken identity. Good guys fighting good guys. Maul It got out of control, and one of the things about Maul is the bigger he gets, the dumber he gets, the less intelligent he is. Then you see he's got this big simple expression on his face. My brain hurts. Rapture, always glad to see her man. Zilla and Dart, they shake hands, say hey, no tough feelings. Mighty Man wants to have a conversation with Dragon. Mighty Man starts to explain his origin a little bit. Tells him that he's been keeping a secret. It's been something to be mean to tell him. Dragon says, "You're not coming on to me, are you? This isn't some sort of fatal attraction thing." Slaps his wristbands together. Mighty Man is revealed to be Nurse Stevens. So now they just kind of have a little conversation about that. Nothing really serious is mentioned. Nurse Stevens says that when the original Mighty Man died, he gave me his powers. I was there at bedside. He transferred them to me. Meanwhile, Rapture confronts Dragon. Wants them to have some time together. And somehow or another they end up, everybody ends up on this island somehow. So that is the wrap up of issue number 13. And once again, best letter page in the game. And then at the very last page here, Erik Larsen talks about why he decided to do 13. And he says, the fact is, I wanted to draw at least the first 100 issues of Savage Dragon. By Image X coming around, it would have broke up my run. So he said that he just decided to go ahead and this issue isn't intended to slam Jim Lee and his collaborators. The other Savage Dragon 13 was worthy. Jim and Brandon Choi did their job like they were supposed to. Several pages into the issue from Wildcats number 14. That's the issue that Erik Larsen drew. He drew Wildcats, and Jim Lee drew Dragon. So in any case, Dragon says, so in the end, was it all, or Erik Larsen says, so was it all worth it? I think that's up to you to decide. As for me, I'm glad I was able to get this out of my system, and get on to the 81 issues I still have to draw to reach that magical number of 100. But not only would he do 100, he would do double that more and then some. I think as of right now, he's on 220 something to maybe 230 something. So he's put in a ton of work, and every issue of Savage Dragon is drawn by and written by Erik Larsen, and that's basically a creator's own work dream right there, you know. So that is a wrap up for number 13. You guys be good, take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.